Greetings. I'm the director for our New Zealand NGO called Common Knowledge. Our trust is a firm believer in self-health care. We are not about alternative medicine and we are not about natural medicine. We are about self-health and whatever that means to you. So today we are going to sit you all down and teach you these simple self-health skills if you feel that you are developing any symptoms of this virus. This is a very scary time for everyone. New Zealand's shutting down, other countries are shutting down, and people are terrified that they are going to get sick and die. We know in reality that people can get sick in a range of feeling poorly to being quite sick, and yes, people may die. However, we can do a great deal to help ourselves. So let's sit down and go through this together. You can share this or learn how to do it so that those around you can also take responsibility for themselves. And where do these skills come from? They come from your doctors and your dentists and your grandmothers who have told you for years, if you have a sore throat, gargle with warm salt water. We have to have skills that are broad, that everybody can accept and are familiar with and have access to the ability to do this. This virus, like many viruses and bacteria, enter into your nose or your mouth. That means you get a sore throat or a blocked nose, or you get sore at the back of your nose. Maybe you get itchy eyes or itchy ears. It's as soon as you feel these symptoms that you want to do something, and you want to do something rapidly. Gone are the days when we can sit there and say, oh, I feel a little bit poorly, I have a slightly sore throat, but I'm going to just see how I feel in a few days, and if I don't feel well, I'll go to the doctor and they'll give me something. Those days are gone because the doctors really don't know what to do. It is our responsibility to take care of ourselves, our loved ones, our friends, our co-workers, and others. We have to replicate how to do these simple skills and pass them on. And everybody has to be doing them. So as soon as you feel you have a slight sore throat, and right now you may feel you have allergies or just a strep infection, or you don't know what it is, or you're a smoker, or you always have a sore throat, it doesn't matter. If you have a slight sore throat, gargle 3 times with warm salt water and spit it out. If you can spit it into something that you can throw out and then clean, that's great. Because if you do have this virus, it can linger on surfaces. So spitting it out in the toilet's a lot better than the sink. But if you spit it out in the sink, then just wash the sink down. So if you have a slight sore throat, the slightest sore throat, and every single one of us knows when we have a slight sore throat, gargle with warm salt water 3 times. If the throat feels better, then don't do it again until it feels sore again, and then do it again. The same way, if you have a slightly stuffed nose, or your nose is sore at the back where it meets the throat, take warm, slightly salt water, and slightly is the operative word here. You have to be able to have it palatable. That means it shouldn't be that strong. Slightly salt water. Just scoop up a drop and snort it up your nose, and 2 times on each nostril. Very simple tool. Kids as young as 5 can do this. Little kids, you can't have them do that, so just take slightly salt water and do this around each of their nostrils. Don't go poking up like that, just do a little bit. Little kids that are very, very young, they can you give them slightly salt water and just ask them, and if they swallow a little bit, that's okay. And if your nose unstuffs for a little bit, just let it go. But if it gets sore again, repeat it. So gargle 3 times with slightly salt water if you have a sore throat, if it's in your nose, in the back of your nose where this virus and many viruses and bacteria congregate. because that's where they multiply before they really enter your system. Then snort 2 drops and do it when needed. And you may need to be doing this for the next 3 to 5 days. Hopefully, your sore throat, you won't feel the sore throat quite as quickly. The time between it, that means as you get the viral load down, it won't be as sore. The same way, itchy ears, slightly salt water. Just wash your ears out like that. And that you can do with your kids as well. Your eyes, do you think you put salt water in your eyes? No, of course not. Warm water. Just flush your eyes out if they're itching. If you're prone to allergies, allergens don't multiply, but they're irritants. So you can use that if you have allergies. Just flush your eyes out with warm salt water. Now, these are the 4 basic things. Sore throat, gargle 3 times with warm salt water, spit it out. Nose blocked or sore in the back of your nose, sniff slightly salt water 2 times in each nostril. If you do that, kind of catch it, spit it out, preferably in the toilet or in some place you can throw it away. Outdoors, if not, wash the sink down. Salt water in your ears, warm non-salt water in your eyes. And then the other thing that you do is at the end of the day, if you feel concerned that you've been around the virus, because it can be anywhere, it's not airborne, but it can remain on surfaces for an unknown length of time. So if you have a concern about it, just take a shower in the evening. And after you've taken a shower, you can cleanse your body with slightly, another slightly word, diluted vinegar or baking soda or salt. Or if you have a preference for something like putting some cinnamon in some water or some cloves, because these historically have been used as antiviral, antibacterial. The same with cedar or sage or thyme or rosemary, tea tree oil, familiar things. So what you want to do is feel that you are addressing this right away. We know that the doctors don't have a cure, they don't have a prevention, and we need to flatten the curve. Our governments can reduce our movements, but we have to live. That can't last forever. And we can't just get sick and go to the doctor and have them give us something, which means that all of us must teach each other. There's a principle called KOTO, K-O-T-O, know one, teach one. The how-to is listed on this. Once this goes active on Facebook and we send it over to our YouTube Birthing Better channel, this will be there as well with a link to this document, which is a simple how-to and why-to, because doctors and dentists and grandmothers have told us for years and years and years, if you have a sore throat, gargle with salt water. Doctors have not been saying that to us just to occupy our time. They say it to us if we have a cut. Keep it clean, because they know that bacteria and virus breed in warm, moist, dark places. That's called your throat and the back of your nose, inside your ears, and mucous membranes like your eyes. So it's very important. These are simple skills. For instance, if you go to work, you can ask your colleagues, anybody have a sore throat here? Just go gargle with warm salt water now. And if you get a sore throat again in a few hours, just do it again. Give permission in your workplace to do this. If you're a teacher, teach the kids in your class to go home and teach their parents. Do this together. And if any of the kids or you have a sore throat in class, just go and gargle with some warm salt water. You're doing something, and you are doing something, because doctors and dentists have told you for years that if you have a sore throat, or if you've had a wisdom tooth extracted or dental surgery or even chemotherapy, they are telling you gargle 3 times a day with warm salt water, because they know it cuts down the ability of the virus and the bacteria to breed. And if we can cut down the viral load in this virus, it is less likely it is then going to head to the lungs. Your responsibility is to pass this on and to tell people to pass it on. We have to have a simple idea. The idea is we have to self-health in this period of time. We can't load up the medical profession unnecessarily because we've been lazy. That's the idea. Self-health. Do something as soon as you get a sore throat or a stuffed nose or itchy eyes or ears. We have to have words for this, and those words are simple. My dentist or my doctor or my grandmother told me if I had a sore throat, gargle with warm salt water. So I'm going to do that as soon as, and I'm going to tell my friends and loved ones. Actions. These are the actions. As soon as you have a sore throat or you have a stuffed nose or sore in the back of your nose, you gargle with warm salt water or sniff up slightly salt water into your nose, get rid of the phlegm. If you feel that it's in your tummy and you have a concern, then afterwards take 1 or 2 swallows of that warm salt water as well, and it will get into your tummy and it will change the environment. So these are the actions, the ideas, the words, and the actions. You now know them, so pass them on. You can play this at a group event if you want, but share it. Make it go viral. We have a responsibility, all of us together. We don't want this to be a time where we get so terrified of each other that we become aggressive or mean or frightened of one another. We want this to be a time where we help each other, where we spread kindness, caring, and love. And the best way to do that is to have skills that we can use together. Just imagine if you have friends and families and you want to socialize and you're being told, don't get around each other, get together and share these skills and commit together that you'll all do this. Think of how much more confident you're going to feel with those who are around you if you know that they too, every time they feel a sore throat, are going to gargle with warm salt water or sniff a little bit up their nose or wash their ears or have showered in the evening. That will build your confidence and it will help you all feel safe. Now, if you're into other things, include those other things. Our trust is about the broadest skills that will reach the broadest number of people. So we don't mention vitamin C. We don't mention other things like that because our goal is to give you skills that the broadest number of people have access to and will know how to do. So thanks for listening and thanks for sharing this. Bye-bye from Common Knowledge Trust. Why did we name it that? You got it. Common sense, common knowledge. Bye-bye.